Alright, yeah, welcome back to some more Magic Arena, and today we're going back into the best of one queues to play a pretty sweet deck. We're going to be playing a Teamer Gates deck. Now, before I get into the list, I want to mention that this, while it is not actually a subscriber deck, it is actually very much inspired by a deck that a subscriber sent to me. So, shout outs to Alon Trow. I'm probably going to be butchering that name, so I do apologize, but really appreciate the deck list, my dude. But yesterday I was playing it, couldn't quite get any victories with it, so I changed it, and couldn't quite get any victories with it, so I changed it again. And here we are today at the final list. So what is this deck and why is it any different from a normal Gates deck? Well, this one's focused around equipment. The original deck had tons of equipment in, but I think focusing really kind of helps the win rate of this deck. That being said, it's still not got the highest win rate, but it is pretty sweet all the same. So the equipment that we're going to be running today is going to be Cleave, which I'm sure most of you know at this point. It's a 6-mana legendary artifact equipment. It says flash, so we can cast it during combat, and it costs 1 less to cast for each attacking creature you control. When it enters the battlefield, you attach it to that creature, and it gets +1/+1 and double strike and trample. So, the one upside about Gates and the strategic advantage we get is that we have some very big boys that very much care about the Gates strategy. So we have Gate Colossus and Gatebreaker Ram. Gatebreaker Ram being a 3-mana 2/2 that gets +1/+1 for each gate you control, and then it gets Vigilance and Trample if you have 2 or more gates. Gate Colossus is just an 8/8, however it gets cost reduction for equal to the gates. It has one of the many lines on Questing Beast, and it also has a little bit of recursion, which is very annoying for our opponent. Whenever a gate enters the battlefield, we get to pull Gate Colossus back and put it on top of our library. So the idea is that we're going to be equipping up either Gatebreaker Ram or Gate Colossus with one of our equipments, either Cleave or Glaive. Glaive giving Vigilance and Menace and +1/+0 equal to the number of gates. But Cleave really is the powerhouse here, because a lot of the times our creatures are already big enough. It's not the fact that we can make them big with Glaive, it's the fact that we can actually push through some extra damage with the trample there. So if you equip Cleave onto Gate Colossus, which could cost you as little as 0 mana for an 8/8, then you actually get a 9/9 trampling double striker. So for 1 hit, you can take 18 of your opponent's life total away, which is really cool. It's what I really loved about this original deck list, and I just really wanted to try out this kind of strategy. Gatebreaker Ram, going to do roughly the same, but obviously the power and toughness there is going to vary a little bit. So that's kind of like the sweet spot, the jank side of this Gates deck. So let's get into what makes a Gates deck a Gates deck. We've got one of the best board wipes in Magic the Gathering Standard Arena at the moment. Gates Ablaze, 3 mana to deal X damage to each creature, where X is the number of gates you control. It's pretty cool. I suppose you got Planar Cleansing, which is technically better. But Gates Ablaze typically will be a one-sided board wipe for us a lot of the time, since we got some pretty big boys. Especially Gatebreaker Ram. Already having that 2/2 means that Gates Ablaze can never deal enough to kill Gatebreaker Ram. Can't be said for the Gate Colossus, although of course this one has recursion, so if you do have 8 or 9 gates and it does die, just play a gate and get it back. Guild Summit is going to be our card advantage monster, again caring about the gates. 3 mana enchantment, tap any number of untapped gates you control when it enters, and then you draw that many cards. And whenever a gate enters, you get to draw a card as well. So there's a nice little cool combo with Gate Colossus and Guild Summit. If you have a Gate Colossus in your graveyard and you play Is It Guildgate, these 2 triggers will go on the stack. So what you can do is you can order the triggers in such a way that Gate Colossus goes on top of your deck, and then Guild Summit makes you draw it, which means this is basically an 8/8, and this is an 8/8, and this is an 8/8, and so on and so forth. We've also got our Boreal Grazer as a 4 of, and 4 Growth Spirals as well, just so that we can get into this 3-drop slot, which is really important for us to get there nice and early. Circuitous Route, obviously 4 mana, pull 2 gates out of our deck is pretty sweet. It's card advantage with the Guild Summit as well. But yeah, that's essentially the deck. We got 4 Plaza of Harmonies against the aggro matchups, 2 Gateway Plazas, which we can pull with Circuitous Route to turn our Gateway Plazas into 5-color lands. We are a 3-color deck, so it's not too difficult for us to make our mana base. We've got 4 Guild Gates of Izzet, Gruul, and Simic, and then we've got an extra 2 here just to up our gate count. 4 basics, a breeding pool, and that's essentially the mana base. So without further ado, let's do some magic, shall we? Make sure to like and subscribe if you do enjoy this content, and yeah, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you like about the deck, what you don't like about the deck, what you don't like about my gameplay. If I made a punt, I'm sure you'll let me know. This video is brought to you by the generous support of our wonderful patrons that you see here. If you'd like to support the channel and get access to cool content like sneak peeks, bonus videos, polls on future content, or access to personal deck critiques from myself every month, then check out the Patreon link down in the description below. With all that said, let's get into the gameplay. Alrighty then, we're in, and yeah, that sounds fine. We got turn 2 Grazer to put all 3 lands down, so if you find another land, we got the circuitous route ready to go, so yeah, totally fine. Totally fine. What are we playing against? Temple of Enlightenment, so could be blue-white control, could be Esper. Time will tell on that one. Alright, so we're going to go with the Gruul Guildgate, which will turn this Plaza of Harmony into a Gruul Guildgate, which is pretty great. I guess what we're going to do then is we're going to go Gate, Grazer, play Plaza of Harmony. I was really worried there for a second that our opponent might counter our shenanigans, because it could be Bant Flash, I don't know. Bant Ramp could also be a possibility. Temple of Mystery. Yeah, I'm a little worried that nothing I do will ever resolve from this point forward. It's a lot of blue. Yeah, Bant Ramp, okay. Does Bant Ramp run Frilled Mystic? I actually don't know the answer to that. I know it's got like Dream Trawlers and things like that. Everything should be killable with a Gates Ablaze, so for that reason we're in a reasonable spot here. Alright, so I think we want to just take the opportunity now to go a circuitous route, so let's just go Forest, circuitous route, and we'll grab an Izzet Guildgate. And that's really all we need to do, right? Yeah, let's grab another Izzet. I suppose we could grab a... Oh no, we can't grab the Gateway Plaza. Plaza of Harmony, sorry. Alright, yeah, let's just go 2 Izzet Guildgates. Alrighty then. Pass the turn. We could send a message with our Boreal Grazer. It would increase our odds of winning. But you know what? I'm going to make it a challenge on myself, and we're not going to swing in with the Grazer. So, what's their follow-up going to be? Oh, Bant Arcbow. Awesome. Really excited to see what's going to go on here. This has Frilled Mystic written all over it, and definitely in an Arcbow deck you could expect things like that. I think what I'm going to do then is I'm going to go with the Glaive. Actually, no. We'll go Colossus, because I can just put it on top with the Gruul Guildgate and resolve the Glaive. This one's, you know, protected against counter magic. The Glaive, not so much. Yeah, that restriction right there was our opponent deciding whether or not they wanted to counter it. So I guess we're going to force them to do something by passing here. We're not going to use our Glaive to make a very easy Frilled Mystic. Nightpack Ambusher. Okay. Totally fine once we get our Ember Cleave. Yeah, opponent passes and it's going to be Frilled Mystic all the way. So, Glaive, counter. If they counter, though, we've got the nice Gates Ablaze, which can get rid of their entire board state and leave me with my Gate Colossus. So, yeah. Not great, but fine. And, yeah, we're currently gonna go for... I think we'll hold the Guildgate so we can recur Gate Colossus. We're already going to be able to kill everything anyway, since we got the 4 gates. And they can't play down another Ambusher to pump the squad, so let's wipe this board. Play around Quench, which I think is about the only counter magic I expect to see there. And try and pressure our opponent. They do have an Uro coming. Actually, yeah, they can do it. They can discard, which kind of works with the escape mechanic. It's pretty cool. It's been a while since I played an Arcbow deck. Maybe it's time to return to it. I imagine Bant Arcbow can do some pretty fun things. Get Tolsamias in there, find your Dream Trawlers so you can draw extra cards for discard. You got your Uro as well, which gives you the extra land drops you need. Discarding while you go as well really synergizes with the escape side of things. It's pretty cool. Anyway, on to discussing what we want to do here. Best draws for us possible are Ember Cleave, which would be pretty good. Can attack for 18 through an Uro. They're going to be able to gain some life as they go, though, so, you know. I'm going to need a little bit more than that, but I don't know if they can really answer our Gate Colossus when it's equipped like that once it's happened. But, you know, nature of a lands deck, kind of have to deal with the fact that we might draw lots of lands. So let's get in with the Gate Colossus. Opponent obviously doesn't block, since they get the Uro attack anyway, and that benefits them greatly. Yeah, so we take 6, they gain 3, they put a land into play. They doing it. I wonder if an Uro would work in this deck, actually. I suppose it would. 14 damage from an Ember Cleave. Yeah, I suppose it would. Can also put our gates into play as well on the attack. Chain bad, so we swing again. This time I'll play a gate. Might as well. I want to keep one in hand at least so we can bring back Gate Colossus, but after that I think we'll be okay. Alright, so at this point they can really just grab any card they want out of their deck with Arcbow, which pretty much means that nothing we do is going to resolve. So we might be forced into a situation where, unless they tap out, we have to hold back. Which, they don't have to play anything anymore. Oh boy. Okay, so can our opponent find a Frilled Mystic in the top 9 cards of their deck? Because they're probably not going to block. A Frilled Mystic in the top 9 of 38. What are the odds? Really high. But I think we've lost this game if I don't go for this anyway, so let's see what happens. Go for the Ember Cleave. They go for their Arcbow if they don't have Frilled Mystic. And then they go and find Frilled Mystic, and we lose. Because I don't think we can keep up with this. Like, sure, we can get Gates Ablaze, but it literally has to be the top card of our deck, and we haven't found any of our card advantage. No Growth Spirals, no Guild Summits. All we've done, really, is draw lands, so, you know, it is what it is. I guess we can go Arboreal Grazer for a blocker and see what happens. Opponent swings. I'm going to take 7 and go to 3. Opponent's at 14. So, yeah, we basically have to have an absolute nutty draw, something like another Ember Cleave. Never mind, Gate Colossus is down. Yeah, Banned Arcbow, pretty cool. Gatebreaker Ram, how big are you? Out of curiosity. An 8/8. So that would have been nice, but not good enough. So let's move on to the next game. Alrighty then, we're in. We got 3 lands, no ramp for a very long time. So it's questionable. Opponent with the Cryptic Command sleeves means probably they're in a deck that is no fun. Or they might just like Cryptic Command art. Who knows? There's a lot you can infer by these sleeves. We'll try a different hand. I'm sure there's a better 6. Alright, sure. This looks mostly the same as the last one, so can't really go wrong with that. As far as the drop is concerned, I guess it's going to be Glaive of the Guild Pact, since we have to work towards getting Gate Colossus down first before we can even use that. So we're not going to be playing it early. We're going to be playing it post-Colossus, most likely. Opponent with black mana, the colour of fun. Are we Mono Black Devotion? Opponent's not going to tell us. But no hand disruption's fine. I'm always for no hand disruption. Yeah, Mono Black Devotion. Okay. So we're gonna go Growth Spiral. Gates Ablaze. That's gonna be pretty good. Opponents does need a lot of Devotion pips on board, and most of the time it's gonna be from creatures, so having a deal 4 damage card here is gonna be pretty good. Opponent wants us to exile a card. We're going to go with our spare Guild Summit. If it was discard, I'd put Gate Colossus in the bin, but obviously it isn't. So It is what it is. Right. So opponent has 5 pips so far. I don't think I care too much about interacting with that, so let's just go with Guild Summit first. And draw 2 cards. We can hold off a little while, knowing that we got Plaza of Harmonies to gain enough life to stop this bit of combat damage. And we don't have to worry about Gary for another turn or 2. If we don't have a land, then it's definitely 2. Alright. So yeah, opponent's board looks a little bit unfortunate, so we're going to get rid of it now. So Gates Ablaze, goodbye board state, goodbye pips on your board. And I think we're just going to... Should we just go another Guild Summit? I think that's totally fine. Can draw 4 cards with Circuitous Route for 4 mana. And try and find the Ember Cleave for our Gate Colossus. Opponent really mana screwed. Oh, no, never mind. They're fine. Murderous Rider just being cast out. Love to see it. Yep, let's go Circuitous Route. We're going to grab... does it matter? I think we need... No, we've pretty much got everything. Let's just grab a... Simic Guildgate, Gruul Guildgate. That'll do. Draw 4 cards. Try find our Ember Cleave. Gatebreaker Ram. Alright, so if we play Gateway Plaza, we're going to tap 1 mana to get this down, but draw 2 cards while we're at it. And that also means that the Gate Colossus are 1 mana, so we can play them just fine. Good stuff. And now we are an equipment away from absolutely devastating our opponent, hopefully. There's Gary. So we took the Gates Ablaze at the right time, thankfully. Currently Gates Ablazing for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a good time to Gates Blaze. Let's do it. Get rid of the board state. No pips on board, no life gain on the block. And then we're going to go Gatebreaker Ram. I don't think our opponent will be able to keep up with this. Ritual of Soot doesn't get rid of the 8 drops, so... Let's see if we can find... Oh, there's Ember Cleave. I probably could have sequenced that in a way that I actually get to Ember Cleave my opponent here this turn for 18, but they're at 27, so it really doesn't make too much difference. And chance of us dying at 14. Pretty damn low. I guess we'll go for Is It Guildgate? See if we can find Growth Spiral or Glaive. We didn't. Alright, so 8 damage coming in. Lethal on board. The traditional Gates win con without the Ember Cleave side of things. But yeah, we can do a lot of damage with our Gatebreaker Ram for sure. So let's play Simic Guildgate, draw 2 cards, and then we've got a 26 damaging Gatebreaker Ram with the Ember Cleave there. Solid. Pretty solid. Alrighty then, we're in, and yeah, this is fine. I don't mind this hand, it's got Gates Ablaze, Guild Summit. Those are nice early game plays. We got a turn to Gateway Plaza, and hopefully along the way we draw an untapped land. It's just going to be Growth Spirals. Opponent on the Godless Shrine. Could be Esper Control, perhaps. Or maybe some sort of Doom Foretold deck. Maybe Pridemates. You never know. Starfield Mystic. Okay. Well, let's just go Simic Guildgate, and we'll Growth Spiral on our opponent's turn. Once we know what they're doing, we'll just pretend we have something we don't up until that point. Timuret Calls the Dead. So black-white enchantments. This is cool. Alright, so I've got a goodish idea about what we should expect here. Banishing Lights, Maya's Grasps. Alright, and then there's the Ephemia. Yeah, there she is. Just that good at calling cards. So we'll wait a little bit for the next Timuret Calls the Dead trigger to go off, I think, before we go for Gates Ablaze. And maybe we just go with a Guild Summit here. I suppose we do have double Growth Spiral. We'll take him, what? 8 damage down to 10. if we go for it now, they have a zombie. But I don't think we care. It's just not the most mana efficient thing to do right now. I think I'm going double growth spiral. I think I can afford to wait a little bit. That's a terrible draw. And that's a terrible draw. Okay. But at least I get a Gates Ablaze with 2 extra zombies, right? And maybe another card here. Opponent got an all that glitters. Wow, okay. Just do not do that again. Otherwise I'm in big trouble. This is not... I was going to say, this is legendary. They're just doing it for the extra point, so we go to 6. Okay. And then exile the extra Femia for a zombie. And I feel pretty reasonable for waiting here. Gates Ablaze. I mean, meh. Let's just get it out there. Just do it. Alright, next turn's Guild Summit. This is a really slow hand for us. Unbelievably slow. But at least our opponent is kind of in a horrible situation now where they're not doing anything. Play Selesnya Guildgate, draw a card. Pass. Yeah, we just need to find either Gatebreaker Ram or Gate Colossus at this point. Yeah, I guess we'll go Guild Summit. Do we want to draw 2 and try for a Arboreal Grazer here, or should we just go for 3? I think 3 is just fine. Well, 2 would have been okay. We'll discard this island. I guess I'm going to turn this Grazer into a monster. Never mind. No, we're not. Okay. Well, we were going to win, to be fair. We were going to double equip up an Arboreal Grazer, giving it 2 power for each gate in play, and then we were going to Ember Cleave it, so building our own little Gatebreaker Ram, I suppose. And yeah, I think our opponent just didn't want to play out after we, you know, Gates Ablaze their entire deck. Is what it is. It's a powerful card. Alrighty then. We got a reasonable hand. It's only got 1 gate in it, but we got turn 1 Grazer, drop the gate, and then turn 2 Gatebreaker Ram as a 3/3. It's fine. It's fine. We can get a little bit of cost reduction by attacking him with the Grazer for the Ember Cleave as well, so it's not too bad. If we can get an early Ram, you know, deal that damage, could see something pretty powerful on the way. Or maybe if it's mono red, I might want to hold off a little bit though. I think I'll take my chances. If it is mono red, then they have to have either double shock for Gatebreaker Ram or skewer the critics here, and I'm not sure if they would fire it off just yet, but who knows. Runaway Steamkin, alright. So now I get to go Simic Guildgate, Growth Spiral, and we want to hit a land here. Yes! Alright, that puts Gatebreaker Ram quite far out of removal range. And I think that means that we win now, because we get to Ember Cleave the Gatebreaker Ram and attack for 12. And our opponent, being mono-red, with a very slow hand that they probably shouldn't have kept, doesn't stand a chance. They can't race this. They cannot and will not race this. Can even put a Glaive on it as well, so that's another +3/+0. And Menace, forcing a double block. But it's already a Trampler, to be fair. Just gonna do that. I'm assuming they got shock. So I'm just gonna make, yeah, I'm just gonna make him use it. So that would have killed my Gatebreaker Ram if I blocked the Steamkin there. Gates Ablaze, eh? Well, let's swing. Ember Cleave up the Gatebreaker Ram and swing for 12. Trampling. It's double striking. It's vigilant. Opponent's at 3. Use the mono red now, opponent. You've been aggroed, son. Tin Street Dodger, sure. I mean, they can vomit their hand out here. They can go Steamkin, Torbrand, something like that. Scorch Spitter, sure. I think I might Gates Ablaze them if they tap out. Because, honestly, screw mono red. Uh-huh. Shock my face, yep. We're going for a little bit of extra mana, perhaps. We've now enabled Spectacle, so it could be a light up the stage. That would explain that shock to my face. Yep. They get an extra 3 mana, which they can empty their hand here. We got 3 damage to everything, so we need to be a little bit careful that we don't get 3 damage burn spelled by being cocky with this Gates Ablaze. But we are going to be cocky with this Gates Ablaze. I assure you of that. Alright, yep, I'm just going to take it all. Or am I going to be cocky with this Gates Ablaze? Should I just equip the Glaive instead? Infuriate. Yep, sure. Now they're tapped out. We Gates Ablazing. 3 damage to everything. Dang it! It made them explode. They ablazed, as it turns out. Well, you know, outrace mono red. I don't think that's a very common occurrence, but it's a fun occurrence, and I appreciate it. But, yeah, sorry for the short video today, though, guys, but I do have to nip off. So, hopefully, if you've enjoyed, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe. You know the drill at this point. Do all those things. Comment down below how you change this deck. I'm interested to see what cards you might include, what cards you might cut. If you played a gate deck yourself, what are you doing with it? Are you doing anything interesting? Yeah, I wouldn't really recommend this deck necessarily for laddering, but for fun purposes, it's pretty cool. Being able to take pretty much your opponent's entire life total off in one shot can be pretty cool, especially on the bamboozle that is Ember Cleave, you know, it's pretty sweet. But yeah, like and subscribe, all that jazz, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye!